Hello, callers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with Gerard Pique, former Barca defender, who recently made a cryptic comment about Laporta's Barca administration, as he said, "Who else has to go?" Gerard Pique bashes Barca president for ongoing registration issues. We are going to be discussing on what he said as we progress. Then, secondly, talking about this huge development as Barca have managed to register Pablo Gavi as their number 6. It has been announced. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. In a rather vicious development, former Barcelona centre-back Gerard Pique has come out with harsh words for club president Joan Laporta over the handling of the economic situation. In a broadcast with TN, Pique commented on the situation in a recent online chat with Spanish streamer Ibai Llanos and questioned the president as to why the club was struggling despite numerous high-profile departures. Going by his word, he said, "We have left and they still have the same problem. In theory, we were the ones responsible for the financial issues with our salaries. Now we are not there and they cannot register either. Who else has to go?" That's a very good question there, isn't it? The defender's words come in light of Barca's newfound struggles in pioneering the return of Lionel Messi. Despite receiving the green light from La Liga earlier today, sources claim that the transaction will be economically challenging. Pique's comments strike a valid point, isn't it? For the high wage bill was long blamed on the villain in Barcelona's economic crisis. In fact, it was the same factor that inhibited Barca from registering Messi's renewal in 2021. Gerard Pique, Jordi Alba, and Sergio Busquets have all departed the Catalan capital now. But yet, the administration claimed not to have sufficient leeway to bring the Argentine forward home. The situation generates serious doubt about Joan Laporta's board and its credibility in handling the financial crisis in Barca. It remains to be seen if the president, however, decides to reply to Pique's question in the coming days. The Azulgranas hope to send Messi a formal offer as early as tomorrow, as the World Cup winner wishes to sort his future out at the earliest. Yet, the fact of the matter remains that they will need to enable some big departures if they are to register the former captain's new contract. Really funny, and what Piqué said is true, honestly. That sometimes I've been thinking about that now that Alba and Busquets have announced that they will be departed. Piqué left earlier this season, but still, yeah, they faced. Even when Piqué left, there was a lot of doubt. Like Piqué have decided to go mid-season, but you guys can still register Gavi and Araujo because they were always claiming that the high salaries of those players were occupying so much space, which they couldn't do such. But when Piqué left, they were still like, no, they can't register new signings or new contract renewals, and it was really shocking. Like, why is Barca's own so special? I've never heard about this. There's a problem, and when that problem is out of the way, you still can't go ahead with what you needed to do. So I think Piqué, if Piqué can be doubting such, what more of us, the Barca fans? What more of us, the Barca fans? Jordi Alba did announce earlier that he will be leaving after Sergio Busquets made his own decision final that he won't renew his contract. And of course, that should bring a lot of maybe jubilation, yes, that players will be bought easily and registered because those two players alongside Gerard Piqué were the most highest earned players in the squad. And which means automatically the fact that they have left the roster, there should be enough room for other players to come in. But at the end of the day, they say they can't do anything. They are still fighting to make big sales this summer. Like, how on earth? So what if Jordi Alba didn't decide to go? Or if Busquets decided to extend his contract that after Xavi was pushing him to extend? Then what could be the consequences? Because it's like it's political to me. And I think Gerard Piqué had every right to ask such a question that who else needs to go? for players to be registered and bought, because it's like there's something not normal. If Real Madrid out there will go and buy top class players with 100 million euros and stuff like that, paying them very good salaries, it's like Barca are on a league on their own. It's like we are not playing the same league as Real. Real are doing well to buy players, quality players with huge amounts of pay, but Barcelona will buy players, cut their salaries more than 50%, and it's like it's I don't know if Laporta and Tebas have a personal problem with each other that were suffering or whatever, because it's kind of strange and political that the same players that were earning the highest, now that they have left, you guys still can't do what you wanted to do after saying that the reason for not doing that is because of the high salary earners, which they are now left. Do what is going to be done, but they still don't want to do it. So let's just see if Laporta will say something about that. But I think Gerard Pique raised a good point. Then on to the final story of discussion. It is a pleasant day for the offices at Spotify Camp Nou. The club only received La Liga's official green light for the economic viability plan earlier today, and there already appears to be more reason to celebrate. According to reliable Fabrizio Romano, Gavi has been officially registered as first team player and will wear the number 6 shirt next season. His release clause is set at €1 billion expiring on June 2026. The Golden Boy was initially incorporated into the senior setup in the last winter transfer window and even donned the single digits jersey for a short period. However, La Liga cut short the youngster's tenure as a first-team player by officially filing a case against the Catalans, citing a delayed submission of papers. The Barcelona court has now ruled in favor of Barca and stated that the registration had been made before the deadline. Despite being registered with the subsidiary team, the 18-year-old has been a solid pillar in Xavi Hernandez's setup. His fine performances at the club level have made him a mainstay for the Spanish national team too, whom he even represented the 2022 FIFA World Cup. The prodigy appeared in 36 of Barca's 38 La Liga games in the recent concluded season, scoring 2 goals and providing 4 assists in the process. He averaged 1.1 key passes per game and created 6 big chances. Xavi Hernandez preferred to use the teenager as a false winger for most of the season and deployed him on the left side of the attack. Gavi made that position his own and was one of the critical components in the team's successful four-man midfield model. The plan could remain the same next season. With the midfielder's contract situation now sorted, Barca would turn their focus on the registration of Araujo. Needless to say, submitting an official offer for Messi is also on the priority list. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.